Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. Today, we're going to discuss and answer the situational example here in handouts. So, first situational example, letter A. Dustin, a front desk cashier, is awarded as the employee of the month of July in STI Hotel Bangkok because of his excellent and service centered. He delivered zero error on guest billings. Each shift is in. Which aspect of service quality is evident in the scenario and why? So for me, my answer and my opinion in situational letter A, Dustin is a responsiveness because Dustin did his job well, very responsible. He deserved to be awarded as the employee of the month of July. And how about you, Ramos?
For me, the aspect of service quality evident in the situation is reliability. Because Dustin is able to deliver excellent customer-centered service and has no error at all the time in every shift. Chantilly Cove Hotel's reservation manager, Leia, would rally her team to upsell rooms and group package. It has been struggle for most hotels in their area to keep up with occupancy levels in offsetting low generating weekdays to not so performing weekends, which characteristic of hotel operation is evident in the scenario. Why? Explain your answer briefly. For me, in Chantilly Cove hotel situation, the characteristic of hotel operation that noticeable is the seasonality. It is obvious because Leia would rally her team to upsell the rooms and group package. This situation, they have a significant impact on institution revenues. However, the hotelier should not remain passive but take advantage of this moment to establish a long-term strategy to mitigate the consequences of seasonality on its turnover. How about you, Mr. Libuyan?
And my answer and my opinion about situational letter B is a seasonality. Because there are not always many customers who want to stay in a hotel. It's seasonal, of course. If we really want to attract more guests and there are always customers who wants to stay in a hotel, we have to think of tricks that we think will be popular and the guests will really visit the hotel. And then, letter C, situational. John is a project developer of a small commercial hotel who scouts for sites where there are high volume of pedestrian and vehicle traffic. He considered the movement of people passing by the area as one of the criteria in determining whether a new project is feasible or not. Which characteristic of hotel operations is described and why? So, my answer and my opinion about the situational letter C, location. John is a project developer of a small commercial hotel and we must always consider not only what we want to be, the design and size, but we must also consider that the hotel to be built should be placed in a good and beautiful place and make sure that it is close to the site and the hospital, mall, groceries, and others. And how about you, Mr. Ramos?
For me, in John's situation, the characteristic of hotel operation is feasibility because he analyzed revenues, expenses, and net income to determine the value of proposed project compared to its project development cost. Situational example, letter D. Grace works in 129 Resort Hotel as an architect under the Corporate Planning and Development Division. She is mainly consulted as to which equipment, furniture, and fixture are most appropriate to use and where these should be placed considering its shapes and size. Which aspect of service quality is described in the scenario? Why? Explain briefly. For me, the aspect of service quality in this situation is tangibility, because it's talk about the appearance of physical facilities, equipment, personnel, and communication materials at Grace Court. How about you, Mr. Guguyan?
About situational letter D, tangibility. Because Grace is an architect under the planning and development, and of course being an architect is one of the responsibilities is to observe properly and what equipment is needed or the tools in creating and building. Situational letter E, lastly, STI Hotel Malaysia is awarded as the #1 hotel in 2018 in terms of service quality. This distinction is evident as all its employees epitomize courtesy and confidentiality in their dealing with their guests and the management. This in turn justifies a good return rate of guests for a hotel, which give us a 90 to 95% occupancy level across the year. Which aspect of service quality is described in the scenario and why? So for me, the service quality described is tangibility also. STI Hotel Malaysia is awarded as the #1 because of the good service and beautiful hotel. That's why deserve to be awarded, almost about physical property which can be seen, tested, or because confidentiality in their dealings with their guests and good return rate of guests for the hotel, which give a 90 to 95% occupancy level across that year. So how about you, Mr. Ramos?
For me, the aspect of service quality in this situation is assurance, because all its employees show courtesy in their dealings with their guests and management. That's all.